The morning show in-depth analysis, the struggle of human nature in cultural context. Plot summary. The story begins with a devastating scandal. Mitch Kessler, Steve Carell, anchor of Yuba Network's morning news program, The Morning Show, is fired amidst allegations of sexual misconduct. Mitch's sudden departure, his CO hosting partner with anchor Alex Levy Jennifer Aniston for 15 years, throws the show into chaos. The once storied and stable morning news empire is suddenly shattered. Forced to break the news of the scandal alone before a national audience, Alex, seemingly resilient, is shaken to the core. This moment marks a pivotal moment for Alex, long considered a symbol of elegance on American morning television. She now faces betrayal from her CO host and the peril of her own career. Then, to calm the storm and reshape its image, the network introduces a new face with a strikingly different style, local reporter Bradley Jackson Reese Witherspoon. Bradley unexpectedly rises to fame after a viral video featuring outspoken journalists, earning her a reputation as a fresh voice in the news industry. Eager to shed the shadow of the scandal, Yuba executives bring this unconventional, truth-seeking reporter onto the morning show team, hoping to partner with Alex and inject some fresh air into the show. However, this impromptu pairing proves to be a tense one. The clash between the veteran and the up-and-coming star sparks a heated exchange during the live interview, with each side arguing and refusing to give in, creating a tense atmosphere. The intense exchange between the two female anchors on the spot is both a dramatic climax and a captivating performance, showcasing the show's inherent tension. As the story unfolds, viewers gradually discover that the scandal raises deeper questions. To what extent did Mitch's misconduct extend? Did his longtime partner, Alex, remain in the dark about it, or even condone it? Did the network's top brass deliberately condone and cover up the truth for years behind the media spotlight? A struggle between responsibility and truth quietly unfolds. In the first 3 episodes of its first season, the morning show quickly establishes its main characters and ideological tone. Alex fighting to the death to defend the crown of the career that he had worked so hard to build. Bradley, he broke into this world of fame and fortune with an attitude of challenging authority. Chip Mark Duplass, producer, is tired of dealing with all parties. Corey Allison, Billy Crudup, TV news director, secretly manipulates the situation. Mickey, struggling with media trials and self-justification, he may be a victim of boycott culture, perhaps even more shady than he appears. The series thus unfolds, revealing the turbulent power struggles and moral dilemmas swirling behind the glamorous stage of morning news. This isn't a simple workplace intrigue, but a battle for social conscience and the individual's soul. As Alex says in the series, "We report the news, but we also create it." The first season is gripping, taking viewers on a thrilling journey as the truth unravels. Characters and the struggle of human nature. The success of the morning show lies in the creation of a series of 3-dimensional and full-bodied characters, each of which carries a specific human struggle. In this bizarre world of morning news, there are no absolute heroes or villains, only people who make choices based on their circumstances and desires. Ordinary people, as one commentator put it, everyone is doing what they think is right, but in the process they hurt others. What is right is left for the audience to figure out for themselves. This presentation of moral complexity makes the characters in the play vivid and makes the audience constantly adjust their views of them amidst the entanglement of love and hate. Alex Levy, she is the heart and soul of the series, and the character whose most glamorous human contradictions are revealed. Having been a seasoned morning anchor for 15 years, Alex is accustomed to the spotlight and the applause. However, the outbreak of Mitch's scandal exposes the vulnerability beneath her glamorous exterior. On the one hand, she is furious at her former CO host's betrayal and the damage it has caused to the show. On the other hand, she is forced to reflect on whether her pursuit of career success has led her to selectively ignore the misconduct around her. Alex's struggles reach a climax late in the first season, when she recalls a one-night stand with Mitch during a business trip. She is shocked to realize that even women with such influence and status as her can sometimes subtly become the lesser party, passively drawn into relationships they prefer not to discuss. This revelation shatters her long-held self-image of being aloof and in control. Previously, Alex had been struggling to resist Bradley's rise, fearing that his sway would threaten her position. However, when Bradley ignited the flames of truth and bravely interviewed the victims, Alex was profoundly moved. She finally cast aside her years of indifferent observation and arrogance, and joined Bradley on air, publicly criticizing the network's executives for their years-long cover-up of the scandal. In this moment, Alex completed a redemptive transformation from initially focused solely on maintaining her hosting position to ultimately standing up to expose the truth and bring down the corrupt, male-dominated leadership. This transformation reveals a profound human struggle. Alex must contend with external pressures of power while also battling internal fear and pride. Beyond her professional challenges, she also faced family difficulties, maintaining a shaky marriage with her husband for the sake of her public image, and her daughter's lack of understanding for her long-term work ethic further afflicted her. As she juggled the dual roles of career leader and devoted mother, she struggled to reconcile both. Beneath her radiant presence in the spotlight lay a devastated personal life. Power and loneliness, responsibility and guilt intertwined in Alex, creating a complex and authentic portrait of a modern professional woman. Bradley's appearance injects a fierce game-changer energy into the plot. Born in a small local station, she is straightforward and impulsive, and believes that truth is supreme. Suddenly, she went from being unknown to a new morning news anchor who has attracted national attention. This drastic change of identity makes Bradley full of ambition, hoping to realize her journalistic ideals by exposing the truth, but also seems a little out of place. She didn't understand the unspoken rules of the industry, wasn't used to playing bother and flattery, and once naively believed that as long as she had the courage to speak the truth, she could change everything. However, the workplace is like a battlefield, and in Yuba, a world of fame and fortune, trust doesn't come without reason. Bradley gradually realized the undercurrents lurking around her, and frequently asked her colleagues, "Are we friends? You won't hurt me, will you?" Her uneasiness and suspicion revealed her deep-seated distrust of the environment. This tension also brought her a lot of interpersonal troubles. When Bradley firmly believed that the benefits of the truth definitely outweigh the disadvantages. When she insisted on digging up and reporting the scandal, onlookers interpreted it as her taking advantage of the opportunity to rise to power and being ambitious. Her truth redemption theory was seen by others as a cover to satisfy her career ambitions, which inadvertently caused harm to the victims. Secondary trauma. Bradley embodies the pain of an idealist facing reality. When upholding her principles is met with suspicion of impure motives, how does she cope? The series doesn't portray Bradley as a saint, but instead reveals her selfish and utilitarian side. When truth conflicts with self-interest, her choices are sometimes less than noble. This exemplifies the implicit irony of the title, the seemingly sunny and positive nature of morning shows, yet the complex struggles of human nature permeate them. Bradley's character reveals how a rising star with a sense of justice can lose his way and become self-doubting under the sway of fame and fortune. This clash between idealism and reality is also a reflection of the human nature of modern media professionals. Mitch Kessler is the key figure who ignites the plot. Mickey is both the bearer of the evil and the person who reflects on its impact. He was once a beloved morning star, a ratings guarantee for years. However, the revelations of his past behavior caused him to fall from grace overnight. Mickey's psychological journey is complex. Initially, he was angry and confused, believing that he had simply done what everyone else would do and did not deserve this misfortune. As the truth continued to unfold, he experienced pain and regret, although the audience still questioned the sincerity of this regret. The series skillfully portrayed Mickey in the gray area of human nature. He is not an unforgivable monster. Sometimes he reveals his pitiful side. He lost his job, his family broke up, he was deserted by his friends and family, as if he was abandoned by the world in an instant, but in the next moment we can see his deep-rooted sense of privilege. When facing a subordinate he had harassed before, Mickey even tried to get the other party to come forward to defend him, not realizing that he was taking advantage of the other party again. His narcissism and stupidity were exposed at that moment. Mickey's story not only shows us the trajectory of a man accustomed to enjoying privilege in the era of scandal, but also arouses the audience's concern about redemption and condemnation. Can someone like Mickey ever reform and regain trust? Should he be permanently ostracized? The show doesn't offer a didactic answer, instead leaving the character's fate to the audience's judgment. In Season 2, Mickey flees to a distant land in an attempt to escape public scrutiny, but ultimately suffers a tragic fate without spoilers. His ending is both a self-inflicted tragedy and a warning against boycott culture. Mickey reminds us that power can lead to self-destruction, and that when truth comes to light, no matter how glorious one may have been, one must ultimately bear the consequences of one's actions. Corey Ellis. Corey, the ambitious news director of Yuba Network, later promoted to CEO, is one of the show's most compelling characters. He's a master of the media game, adept at maneuvering power dynamics. While appearing cynical and humorous, he harbors a meticulously calculated agenda. In the Mickey Mouse incident, Corey was initially seen as the driving force behind the move. He was the one who brought in Bradley to shake up the system and reshape the show's image. His command of the situation and his ability to navigate it with ease impressed viewers, with one critic stating, "I love Corey the most. I love this kind of gentleman, this kind of person who has authority and the ability to hold his own." Indeed, Billy Crudup perfectly portrays Corey's charm and complexity. On the one hand, he can remain calm when everyone is hysterical and resolve the crisis with an enigmatic smile. On the other hand, he does not hesitate to use other people's emotions to achieve his goals, and even makes people question whether he has real emotions. Corey always seems to be selfishness and protecting the interests of the program. His many rivalry scenes with Alex are full of sparks. Facing the criticism of this strong female anchor, Corey often responds with a cynical attitude, but when his interests are damaged, he will also show his cold side, reminding the other party who is really in power. He seems to be the calm chess planner behind this big show, but as the plot progresses, we also get a glimpse of his occasional struggles, perhaps under the hard shell of interests. Corey's heart is not completely cold. He also longs for recognition and even friendship. The second season will have more portrayals of Corey's inner world. Corey's character reflects those media executives in reality who shuttle between truth and lies. He both drives change and manipulates public opinion, drawing both respect and fear. Corey's calculations add suspense and uncertainty to the plot, and his every expression holds a hidden meaning. While it's difficult to define Corey as good or evil, one cannot help but admire his ingenuity and courage. He embodies the type of person who sits on the fence in power, yet remains incredibly shrewd. His human struggle may lie in the question of when conscience triumphs over self-interest. This question will likely only become clearer as the series progresses. Chip Black. Chip is a veteran executive producer of the show and Alex's longtime partner. As a mid-level manager, he is caught between high-level decision-makers and the main anchor stars, acting as a lubricant and a shield. When the Mickey scandal broke out, Chip was denounced by Alex for his betrayal because he concealed the news beforehand. He seemed weak, but in fact he also carried enormous pressure and moral responsibility. At the end of the first season, he chose to stand by Alex and work with her to expose the TV station's dark side, defending his friend and the conscience of the news at the cost of losing his job. From Chip, we see the ordinary people facing the big issues. Struggle with decision: should he remain silent for the sake of his career, or stand up for justice? His choice is moving, suggesting that there are still good people within the system who hold the line. Chip's friendship and loyalty bring a touch of warmth to this scheming drama. His camaraderie with Alex is one of the few genuine relationships on the show. This is precisely why Chip's decision is so powerful. He represents the little people who uphold professional ethics in the cracks of power struggles, a glimmer of hope. In addition, there are other members of the program team: Mia, Mitch's former lover, a female producer who strives to prove her worth; Yanko and Claire, a weather anchor and his assistant in a secret relationship, a couple trembling with fear under the issue of harassment; Daniel, underrepresented minority anchors, striving for a voice, and so on. Each character faces their own challenges and choices. The show weaves a complex ensemble. These individuals collaborate to create a captivating morning show in the spotlight, yet each harbors their own ambitions, fears, and pain behind the scenes. Their relationships, brimming with both genuine affection and calculated self-interest, truly reflect the interpersonal dynamics of the modern workplace. It can be said that the characters of the morning show have experienced the struggle of human nature, is a microcosm of the fate of individuals in the contemporary workplace and even the entire society in the midst of drastic changes, between truth and lies, morality and interests, friendship and betrayal. Everyone is groping for a path that allows them to have a clear conscience and protect themselves. However, as shown in the play, sometimes the right choice is not clear. Everyone has selfishness or blind spots to a greater or lesser extent, and may hurt others while believing that they are doing the right thing. The series does not give the characters simple labels of moral judgment, but allows the audience to understand that through their behavior. No choice: when the cultural environment changes rapidly and old rules are overturned, people are inevitably at a loss and even make mistakes. But it is precisely in these difficulties and struggles that the brilliance and shadow of human nature are clearly revealed, practical significance and cultural reflection. The storyline of the morning show continues to expand. The morning show always keeps a close eye on the pulse of the times. Every season tries to bring major events in the real world to life. The series integrates the characters' fates and imbues the plot with a broader social perspective. This resonance with the real world evokes a strong resonance and reflection in viewers as they follow the series. As we face epidemics, political conflicts, and technological upheavals, what role does the media play? How do individuals choose in this great era? Although the theme continues to expand, the spiritual core of the series remains consistent: power, media, and morality. The title The Morning Show itself seems to be a metaphor for a paradox of modern culture. Every morning the screen shows the latest and brightest news and smiles, but behind that, many people are experiencing unspeakable darkness and struggle. Through the small ecosystem of the TV station, the morning show connects a series of issues such as workplace sexual harassment, gender inequality, journalistic ethics, and boycott culture, outlining the various aspects of the contemporary workplace and media environment. The audience not only sees the plot, but also seems to see real stories happening around them. Especially for the situation of women, the series offers a thought-provoking exploration of the duality of professional and family life. As one commentator noted, when we praise women as strong women or role models of women, aren't we viewing them through tinted glasses? This is actually a form of unequal false praise because it implicitly sets men as the standard for strength. In the series, Alex is expected to achieve perfection in both career and family, and is criticized regardless of which she chooses. Mickey's wife, devoted to her husband and children, must endure his extramarital affairs and contemptuous treatment. These plot points reflect the double standards and structural injustices faced by women in reality. When a woman rises in the workplace, she is often questioned for sacrificing her family, while stay-at-home wives are often devalued and even bullied by their husbands. Through the experiences of characters like Alex, the series asks the audience, how many unequal labels are hidden behind the praise attributed to women? Thankfully, Alex ultimately chooses to no longer remain silent. Her courageous act of exposing the truth may not immediately change a deeply ingrained culture, but it undoubtedly writes a meaningful chapter in women's self-awareness. These thought-provoking moments elevate the morning show beyond the realm of typical workplace dramas, transforming it into a work of both entertainment and social significance. For viewers, watching the morning show is hard not to reflect on ourselves. What would we have chosen if we were in those situations? Would we have spoken out after years of silence, like Alex, or would we have stood by and watched like those who chose to distance themselves from the situation in the midst of the Me Too movement? Would we have chosen to believe and support the victims, or would we have chosen to ignore the situation because it involved someone we know? The dilemmas faced by the characters on the show mirror those we face in real life. After the 8th episode of the first season aired, it sparked heated discussion on social media, with many American viewers expressing that the episode shocked everyone and prompted them to reflect on similar moments in their own lives. This demonstrates the show's profound emotional resonance and drive for reflection. This revelatory power of film and television is one of the most valuable values of cultural works. The morning show challenges us to confront issues we often avoid, examining how our cultural environment influences our behavior and choices. Conclusion: glimpse of the true dawn. The morning show bold and direct, the creative methods and thought-provoking themes from The Last Dance demonstrate the power of original series in the streaming era. It boldly depicts the high-stakes world behind the scenes of morning television while exploring complex issues of power, media, and ethics, setting a new benchmark for workplace dramas. The series' high-quality writing, gripping conflicts, and stellar cast make it a must-see for fans of high-octane workplace dramas. Even if there are occasional exaggerations, those flaws are overshadowed by its overall depth and brilliance. After several seasons, the morning show still maintains a keen insight into reality and keeps pace with the times. Continuously update to tell your own story. There is reason to believe that in the upcoming new season, we will see the characters meet new challenges and show a richer side of human nature. As the morning light rises again, the host on the screen smiles and bids us good morning. Perhaps we'll remember the reflections that the morning show has given us. Behind the glamorous stage, everyone struggles to protect the glimmer of light within, preventing it from being extinguished by the shadows of reality. This is perhaps the hope that the show conveys. No matter the cultural tides, human kindness and courage will eventually see the light of dawn. As Alex demonstrates after his awakening in the show, when the truth is revealed, the night will eventually pass, and the morning sun is always worth our anticipation.